some in another video. And in this video, I'm just gonna pretty much like let y'all know like what really got me into this whole sneaker YouTube reviewer slash whatever sneaker YouTube. Pretty much what this sneaker YouTube thing what made me get into it. And cause cause I've been doing it for a while. I got a good amount of videos out there now, so I guess like it's just now time to know this. So honestly, when I like honestly, I recently started collecting sneakers about, I want to say, I would say, like, I guess around now would be like about a year to the date. Cause I think the first pair of sneakers like I bought, and when I say collection, I was always buying sneakers, but it was never like I wasn't really buying anything and keeping them in the box. I'll just buy a pair of sneakers, and it's just like we got. I was always buying sneakers, but what got me to the point where I'm actually checking to see what's coming out, see what I like about. All right, these are coming out, and I want these. I'm gonna go get those. That really started about a year ago, like about a year ago, like last February. February. So I've been doing the sneak collecting, like actually collecting sneakers as an actual collector for a year now. And it was I think the first sneakers I bought. Well, actually, let me go back. Let me get what actually got me into collecting sneakers. So you don't just like first I got shout out again as you guys shout out my boy Real Deep because he been collecting sneakers way longer than me. Like my collection ain't nowhere close to his, but we joke on, like his collection is deeper than mine, but he know what I got him beat on. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that at that. So what it was like, it was I believe it was a Nike interwoven sneak. I forgot. I believe that it was a purple shoe. Somebody had posted it on Facebook, and I just, I instantly like fell in love with the shoe. But I couldn't find out. I was like, all right. Well, I know my mate. I was like, all right. Well, I know Rel. He collects sneakers. He might know. So I shot him. I sent him the picture. He immediately got something back to me. And I was like, all right, cool. So I went from there. So I started looking. So the more I started looking, I'm like, seeing other shoes that I like. I'm seeing other shoes that I like. And then, so I ended up being like, all right, boom, buy a pair. So I bought, I forgot what I didn't buy anything. It was in the search for those sneakers, I couldn't find anything in my size. I found them, but the biggest size I could find was an 8. So I ended up looking so I was like, all right, I'm just going out looking for shoes. Went to my low spot in the mall out here, one of the local malls in my neighborhood, and actually found another shoe, which was the Nike TR17 in the linen colorway. Picked those up. So that was like the first pair of sneakers that I believe those are the first sneakers I purchased. I was like, these are dope. Now, mind you, I had, like previously before that, I only had 3 pairs of sneakers that was still in the box. And I bought those it was February 2016. It was the Nike Air Max Essential, the black and gray colorway. And then it was the Nike Trainer, I forgot what it was. I believe it was but those are another black and gray sneaker. And then the third shoe was the Nike Air Max 90 sneaker boot. I think it was the locked in color. But I had those I was going on a cruise that year, and I just bought those, and I just always kept those in the box. So I had 3 pairs of sneakers in the box for a whole year. Then I bought other sneakers, and it wasn't really too big of a deal. So come fast forward to 2017, looking for these, I found these in the store. Then a little while afterwards, I found out Fat Joe had opened a sneaker store in Manhattan called Up NYC. It had opened like in November of 2016, but by the time I got around to actually getting to it, it was February of 2017. Yeah, it opened November 2016, 2017 when I finally got to it. Got out there and I bought, I believe I bought two pairs of sneakers there. I bought the Black Hat 13s and I bought myself the Black Hat 13s and I bought my wife the actually, I bought my wife a pair of Royalty 4s and my son a pair of Royalty 4s. And then and at this point, I'm not even like thinking about collecting sneakers. I'm just like, all right, these are cool. I'm buying sneakers. I'm not thinking anything about collecting sneakers at this point. So I go, I get those. Then while I was in there getting the Royalty 4s, they had the Foamposite. There's a Vanchetta Tan Foamposite. With that release was also coming it was the All-Star 6s, the All-Star 1s coming out that weekend, that same week, that following weekend. So I went out there and I ended up, so the following week I went, got the Vanchetta Tan Foam. My man Rella was with me. He picked up my man Rella was with me. He ended up picking up the All-Star 1s, I believe it was. And it just like, and again, at this time I'm not thinking about collecting sneakers. I'm just like, all right, this is a dope little spot. I'm going in there and I'm just grabbing sneakers. So I'm not thinking about collecting it. So I start. So it came to a point where I was in there like every weekend. I was at Up NYC, just just going every week, buying 2-3 pairs of sneakers at the time. And up at that, and like I said, at that point I wasn't collecting sneakers. It wasn't till about, I want to say maybe April of 2017. I believe it was my niece that came over, and like I had, like at one point I was keeping my sneakers in my room, in the stack, and like within like 2-3 weeks, my room became like the spot where I had them. It was not enough space, so I moved them into the living room. Mind you, like I said, when I started 2017, I only had 3 pairs of sneakers still in boxes. My niece came over one day, and I think by that point, from February to April, I went from 3 pairs of sneakers to 15 pairs of sneakers. That's in boxes. I had other pairs, like I said, I had other pairs of sneakers that were in boxes. But as far as like in boxes, it was 15 pairs. So as time goes on, there's other sneakers coming out. I'm getting them. At this point, I'm still not thinking, oh, I'm collecting sneakers. At that point, like as fast as I bought a pair of sneakers, I would wear them. So it wasn't until I believe it was, I want to say April. Well, whenever the Jordan 1 Wings release, I want to say it was April of 2007. I was like, these sneakers they were dope. I'm like, I'm gonna get these, and I just want to have these sneakers. Wasn't planning on wearing them, like, and I was just like, those are just dope for collection. They came in, I had them for a while, and I was like, at the time, I was just like, I don't collect sneakers. Why am I, like, I'm not a sneaker collector. I buy sneakers to wear. So I ended up breaking them out, wearing them. And then I was in a conversation, like, let me go back. No, it wasn't a conversation I was having. So like again, my man Rel plugged me into, like, he started to, like, cause like I said, he's an avid sneaker collector. So he gave me a couple of YouTube people to check out because they would say when certain sneakers was releasing, they would tell you all that kind of stuff. So I was just like, alright, cool. So I checked it out. As I'm watching them, I'm looking at it like, hey, I could do this. And for lack of a better word, a lot of people seem like a bunch of nerds and geeks and all that. They not like, and I like to me, I didn't feel like it was anybody that came from my walk of life prior to where I'm like to my current job, but like my walk of life, like people that come from the areas that I come from doing any of these videos. It just like seemed like a bunch of like it seemed like a bunch of cornballs doing these videos. So I was just like, I'm at that age where I can remember parents not the sneakers coming out. Like I said in the previous video, like I remember seeing the billboard in 1996. I'm old enough to remember they had the 1996 sneak. Like nowadays, y'all might not believe it. You young guys might not. But sneakers did used to get presented on billboards. I was in Virginia. It was either Virginia or Pennsylvania. I'm like I said, it's 2018. I'm talking about 96. I'm talking about a good amount of years ago. You know, I'm talking about some over 20 years. 20 years ago, like I remember the billboard for the Concords. And I want to say I'm almost positive. I want to say it was Virginia had a billboard for the Concord. I remember me wanting them, and my parents telling me them sneakers are too expensive when I finally saw them in the store. Like I remember when foam posits first released and nobody liked them. I remember that. So like, but fast forward to now where I'm looking at these YouTube. I'm like, these dudes young. They don't remember. They can't talk. They can't talk about a shoe the way I talk about it. That's why like right now at this age, like I can say I'm not a huge foam posit fan because I'm of that era where foam posits wasn't it. Like we got to this point where it's like it got big elsewhere, and then like everybody's like, oh, foam posits, but like any real people tell you like they didn't like the foam posit, and then not for nothing, when foam posits originally released, like the price for those was astronomical. Like people think foam posits in the the late '90s, foam posits were crazy expensive releasing, and nobody wanted them. And I remember my mother bought him a pair of foam posits to play basketball with, and he did not want them. He didn't want it. Like, he didn't want to play, and it was just to play basketball. And it was just like, but their selling point with the shoe was like scuff resistant. I don't know if that holds true now to the foam posits coming out now, but you know what I mean. But yeah. But I digress. So like, but anyway, like, I was just like, I could do these videos better than most of these dudes doing it out here. Cause I guess like for me personally, I have like a special one being from New York, and then being of an age where I can remember these sneakers' original releases. I mean, so it's like I felt like I had a better stance on speaking on these shoes. So I was like, hey, I had a camera here. I had an old camera. I had an old camera, so I went and put up a video. It did. I mean, and ever since then, it's been, man, I feel like I just been making videos. Like, yeah, so like my first video was just in October. And like I said, I've been doing it from February, so it took me a little while to get into it. I had the camera. I just said, like, I really just started getting into this video. So I guess like these videos aren't really there for everybody, but I think I'm more, I guess like my target audience. That's all. Like my reviews are different to most. My reviews are more based off like people in my age range. That was meaning like people that was alive and active when the sneakers that they're retroing now were brand new to the world, and nobody else seen them. It's like It wasn't like, oh, I can't wait till these retros. It was like, hey, I can't wait till these come out. Like, like I said, like I remember the 13s come. I remember the Jordan 13s coming out. I remember foam posits coming out. Like I remember when even I remember when Saucony had its big run in. I was just in high school. I was still in. Yeah, I was in high. So when Saucony had its big run in the late '90s, I remember all that when. I mean, Puma had its time when it took off. I seen Adidas take off, fall off, and now it's starting to build back up now. So like I'm doing like what my channel is really for is for like I accept all subscribers. Like it's for anybody that wants to watch could watch. But like I guess like the older people watching it will kind of more so feel what I'm saying, like my content because it's more so geared to what like I can't gear it to a younger audience because I'm I'm older, so you gotta be. I'm speaking from my standpoint of the adult working world family man that's just getting these sneakers in. And I mean, it's that it like each one of these sneakers, like the majority of these sneakers I get, I can tell the story, except for like the newer models, like I say like the Vapor Maxes and I say with the Dornbeckers and stuff. But like the majority of the sneakers that come out, I have like almost every sneaker that I show, I could probably give a story of like I remember this coming out and that, and the third. Like I say, like with the 11th, for instance, I can tell you I remember being in the car with my parent. My father had a 1983, I think it was an 83, was it 83? Like I said, like with the 11s coming, I can remember being in the back of my father's 1979 Mercury Grand Marquis. It was a midnight blue spark. Driving through Virginia, going to one of these resorts. It was in Virginia. I can't remember the state is not 100% perfect in my mind what state it was, but I remember seeing that billboard for those, and it was just like I wanted them, but my parents said, all right, well we see the price, we gonna figure it out. Got to the store, they seen the price, and it wasn't until 2017 that I got my first pair of Jordan 11. So y'all could pretty much get the drift of what happened with that at that time. But anyway, like I said, that's a little bit of history into me, why I started collecting sneakers, and why I actually started the YouTube thing. I mean, if anything, as usual, first I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I mean, like I invite everybody to like the video if you like it. If not, okay, subscribe to the page. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to keep trying to put out content, and always, and it'll be appreciated I appreciate when people leave comments, so I like to interact with people, so people can let me know what you're getting, what you like to see on the page, and whatever. Like right like honestly, this is your page. I'm just the voice for you guys. So y'all leave it in the comments what y'all want to see, or whatever the case may be, and I will definitely make content to. I'll make my content based off the comments, or if I have no comments, I have to just keep on doing whatever whatever comes to my mind. So with that being said, like I said, as always, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I mean? Like with that being said, I'm out. Y'all be good, and see y'all later.